Hi, I'm Angela Bole. I'm the Executive Director for the Independent Book Publishers Association, and I'm here at Book Expo America 2014 in New York City. I'm talking with Cerredwyn Horrigan, who is the author and publisher of Rainbeau Harley. Your publishing company is called Pigs Fly Press?
Correct.
And this is your first book?
Yes, it is.
Well, you had a lot of success with your first book last night at the Ben Franklin Awards ceremony. Do you want to talk a little bit about what happened there?
Sure. It was chosen for a silver award at the Ben Franklin. It was very exciting to be able to go to the award ceremony and to see all the small publishers whose work was exalted last night.
It's great. And it was a silver award in the best teen fiction category.
Right.
It's a great book for teens, and it features a really strong heroine. Can you talk a little bit about the book and what happens in the book and who the central character is?
Sure. Rainbeau Harley is a 14-year-old girl who lives in Oregon, in New York, with absentee parents, so she has a lot of freedom and enjoys that. Then life takes a turn and she winds up moving to Massachusetts to live with her grandmother at her grandmother's horse farm. And her grandmother doesn't even know that she existed. So she goes from a lot of freedom to a place where there are people who work for her grandmother and there's no freedom. And she has to learn to improvise, adapt, and overcome in order to get what she really wants, which is more than the freedom from her parents.
So she's looking, it's kind of a hero's journey. She's looking for where to take her life to get that next important thing. She thought it was one thing, but she's coming to realize it's something else completely.
That's true. She wanted to be a tattoo artist, and she realizes there are things that are more important than the job you're going to do in your life.
And you mentioned something. You said she has to learn to improve, adapt, and overcome.
Improvise, adapt, and overcome.
Improvise, adapt, and overcome. And that is throughout the book. That's something, a central mantra that's you come back to throughout the book. Why do you think it's so important for teenagers to kind of centralize on those traits and understand what it means to improvise, adapt, and overcome?
Well, improvise, adapt, and overcome comes from the American military. I have a family member who serves, and it's a very important aspect of military lives because there are so many problems that come up when they're in the field or even when they're back at home that they need to problem solve, and all teens need to know how to problem solve. So I decided to use that as the central tenet of Rainbeau Harley to help kids think about better ways to problem solve.
And I think that the character really does, she really does figure out how to do all three of those things very well by the end of the book. I wanted to switch just a little bit because I'm looking at your cover, and this is a real photograph. And you had an interesting situation happen when you went as the publisher at Pigs Fly Press to take this picture for this cover. Do you want to tell a little bit about that story?
Sure. We needed, because Rainbeau Harley is biracial, I needed a biracial model who was willing to get her fingernail tattooed, because in the book, that's what Rainbeau does. And it had to be in Oregon because that's where our tattoo artist was. So it took a lot to find just the right person
to get their fingernail tattooed.
Exactly, yeah. And it happened to be that she worked with a photographer who works for Vogue. So we were very lucky to get his work. Because of the time lag, they worked late at night. It was late at night here on the East Coast, and I did not get the proofs until about midnight. I looked at them and everything was perfect, except the tattoo was upside down.
Oh no.
So now I have a biracial model in Oregon with a tattoo upside down on her fingernail. The tattoo artist is freaking out, and they've shut down the shoot. So there are no other options.
No.
So I called my designer and explained, and with some design magic, we have the cover.
So you have it, and that is the proper way that tattoo should look.
Correct.
That's the proper way.
So we had to improvise, adapt, and overcome, even to shoot the cover.
Even in the cover of the book. Well, I think it's great, and I think the cover says a lot about the character too, and that, you know, tattoo on the fingernail, it's pretty good.
Right, and she's reaching for something more.
She's reaching for something more.
And that's part of improvising, adapting, and overcoming, is you don't settle for what's going on in your life. You always strive for something more.
It's great. Well, I think the success you're having with Rainbeau Harley is well deserved. You have a great book. You have a silver award now from the Benjamin Franklin Awards that you can showcase this year. Congratulations. What else for Pigs Fly Press? What's your next publishing adventure?
Pigs Fly Press is looking for manuscripts, but also as an author, writing the second Rainbeau Harley book.
Oh, that's great. And when can we expect that to come out?
2015.
2015. All right, well, thank you very much. Congratulations again. It's been great talking with you.
Thank you.